Hey everybody, it is Thursday afternoon. That means you are watching another episode of Task Force Geek. Spoiler alert. I'm your host, Beth Hey Cha Cha Freely, and I've been joined by Steve the Collector Shank and Walt Has Its Merits Thompson. And this week, we got all sorts of T'Challa to talk about. Let's get right into it. What did you think about the episodes this week, guys? yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're done.
Where do we start? First we have to start off with, it's Chadwick Boseman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just straight off, we are witnessing the last works of Chadwick Boseman.
One of the last four pieces, yeah.
I'm already getting misty-eyed thinking about that right now.
Well, that was one of the first things that hit me, Walt. I told you this when we were texting, is that my first thought was, oh my gosh, that's the voice, that's him, and whoosh.
Yeah.
It was
I was good up until the very last thing on the episode. When they put the dedication up, and that's when I just turned into a bawling baby at that point. I was like, oh my God.
Hey, we're not going to fault you for that, because
it was ugly crying. It was serious, ugly crying. Yeah.
That's when I put on my ugly cry too, right there at the end. But I will also say that it also started with the hey cha cha.
Yeah,
because that has such a double meaning, with his name being Chadwick, and then you have T'Challa, and it had such a double meaning for me when we hear "Hey Cha Cha," which we'll get to that. What that's all about a little bit into this episode. So, but yeah,
it's a heartbreaker, but at the same time, you're glad you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Considering that, knowing that we're not going to get much more. I mean, we have 3 other episodes that Chadwick recorded prior to his death. And I think all of us will agree that we need to hold on to those episodes tightly, because those are probably going to be more cherished than most of the others. Especially knowing what he went through when he was filming, the movies, and how quiet he kept it, and just that strength that he showed all the way through is just
it's superhero like.
Yeah. In his own way, yes, he was a superhero. I would like to think of him that way, especially knowing he was going and seeing sick kids while fighting his own battles with his own cancer, and just, that whole uplifting that he did, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to start crying if I don't stop.
Well, it's not much of a podcast would be if all 3 of us were just sitting here waterworking.
Oh, it'd be a great podcast.
It'd be a great podcast.
It'd be a great podcast.
It'd be an awesome podcast. We'd be going years from now. We'd be going, look at these 3 fools crying.
Look at us. Oh my God! Why are we crying? Good Lord!
And then it would be like, oh, we're crying because Chadwick Boseman died.
And then we start all over again.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So
he'd be sitting there going.
Yeah.
And that Wakandan accent that he does, he'd just be like,
which is spot on. I love that accent.
I do too. The opening scene where, all right, how do you pronounce the actor's name? Jaman?
Oh yeah, good luck.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Stage is yours, Walter. Go for
Dijon Mustard.
Yes.
I had it right on the tip of my tongue because I just heard it last night, and I was like, I'm not going to forget that. And guess what? I did. I forgot.
You did. What did I do with you? You're no help.
But
see?
This interpretation of that character
was awesome.
Was just great.
I'm waiting for him to come in shooting as Star-Lord is standing there with the thing, and I'm waiting for him to come in shooting.
So far, with the first 2 episodes, some of the background characters and even some of the main characters that become background characters, we want to see more of these characters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
They're totally interesting. But yeah, the whole you're a hero. You steal from the rich and give to the poor. That was just
hello, Robin Hood.
Who's that guy? Robin Leach is what he said. Child was like Robin Hood.
You mean Robin Hood? Yeah. I mean, there's so much in this episode that that was just, that's memorable. They're so memorable that you can't keep track of them.
You can't. There's a lot with this one. So yeah, again, back to the point that it's only a half-hour show. We know that there has been some sort of connection with Wakanda, either with the Ravagers and the Collector. So my fun question is, where did he get the Black Panther necklace? Because he wasn't wearing it when Yondu picked him up.
That's a good question.
Won it on pressure luck? I don't know.
That's a good question.
Okay, usually I'm the first one that goes, well, because the writers wrote it that way. But that was one thing I noticed. You have that very opening scene. He's got the necklace on. Where did the necklace come from?
Well, and also his coat, his jacket, his coat actually had the trim like the necklace as well.
Right.
Which was fantastic, but it's kind of one of those, well, yeah, how did that work out?
So
what if?
Yeah, what if?
What if?
What if he found it at the bottom of a Cracker Jack box?
That'd be good. Kind of makes you question Yondu's possible role in that, or Nebula's,
or there's no telling.
It's hard to
because Yondu did kind of keep him apprised as to what was going on.
Even though we lied
in Wakanda.
Yeah, even though we lied, because that's Yondu.
Dirk's got the correct spelling going on there. And hello guys.
Hey everybody.
Jimin Hansu.
Jimin
Hansu. Hattori Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo.
Just random guess, sorry.
I liked it.
Dijon ham salad. Yeah, I like that.
Dijon ham salad. There we go.
Yep, I like it. Done. We're gone.
Okay, Dijon ham salad. From now on, that is Dijon ham salad.
And for those of you saying hello.
John, yes. Wakanda forever.
Oh, sorry. I was a little late.
Hey, Sunil.
Welcome to the show. These are,
hey, Mom.
There's Mom.
Mama Thompson. Hi, Mama Thompson.
By the way, after a couple of conversations with Mom and Dad now understand what if is about.
Okay, good.
And because they weren't going to watch it at first because they're like, well, what if? What's that all about? And
I need you to come over and explain it to Dan because he's still kind of lost with it.
So,
Dan, come on.
So, Mom and Dad both watched this latest episode last night, and I got a text from Mom going, "Oh my goodness, that was awesome." So, Dijon ham salad.
I gotta be honest. Now I'm hungry.
Right. Now we want ham salad. Thanks,
now
Dirk.
I want Dijon ham salid. That actually sounds kind of amazing.
Dijon with corned beef hash is actually good too.
Oh God!
Yes.
I know this because that's what I had this morning.
This is
you didn't invite us over for breakfast. Why?
Mm-mm.
And all I got is
selfish.
All I got is
you're funny.
Whatever.
You're adorable.
Whatever.
Selfish.
Moving on. Anyway, where were we? That's right. We were talking about Dijon ham salad and that whole opening scene.
You're gonna blame that on Dirk.
Yeah, I will never forget that now. That's all on Dirk now. Thanks, man.
Did you? Looking up recipes for Dijon.
But yeah, that
salad.
This version of this retelling or alternate version of the Guardians of the Galaxy opening was great.
It was great. It was great. And I love the Guardians, and I was kind of missing Groot and Rocket, but that's okay.
Yeah. By the time you get to the end of this, you're like, you don't need them.
No, but can you stop and think about how funny that would have been, though, T'Challa dealing with Groot and Rocket at the same time?
Brilliant. Yes,
it would have been brilliant. It would have been great.
Yeah, you know what? I want to know what that dynamic would be, because Groot would be totally respectful.
Yes.
To,
mm-hmm. Rocket would be trying to lift his necklace.
Right.
It's just the same raccoon that tried to talk Bucky out of his arm. I mean, come on.
Right. The one who snuck out a bionic eye in his, Yeah.
And then gave it to Thor.
And awesome. Gave it to Thor, and Thor didn't clean it off before he inserted it.
That was so funny. Oh my god. Here we go.
Anyway, moving on.
Before we digress, as always.
Rails, back on them.
Next topic of the episode.
Oh, the ship. The Milano, it is no more.
It is not the Milano.
I am perfectly fine with the name that they bestowed upon it. However,
yes,
I am too.
So perfect.
So, the Milano is not the Milano in this version, seeing as it's T'Challa's.
It's the Mandela.
And we know he has his heroes as a child. So,
yep.
The name of the ship is the Mandela.
Awesome.
Which I thought was perfect.
I thought it was great. And sorry, I'm like block something out that I didn't need to block out. I'm trying to read my notes here and I can't even read them. Oh, that's brilliant. So Dirk responded to the Rocket and the arm.
Oh, I'm going to have that arm.
So more than likely Rocket got the arm when, they took off the old one after Tony bashed it and gave Bucky the new one.
No.
Come on, man. A girl can hope.
No, because that happened well before he even met Rocket.
Oh, that's true. It did.
That was in Civil War. And by the time we got to Infinity War, he was wearing the Wakanda vibranium arm.
You don't know what backroom deal went on after he came back from the snap?
Oh, it's a good point.
He didn't get it.
It's a valid point.
He didn't get it.
No prize for you.
No, bummer.
No Marvel, no prize for you.
Bummer. So I appreciated the comic book Sean Gunn. That was hysterical.
Yes.
When we see him on the newly named ship Mandela.
Yes.
Sure, I don't know all humans look sure. I don't know. All humans look alike to me. Yeah,
right.
No. Dude, you
two C holes.
Got two ear holes, two
C holes, one E
hole. All humans look alike to me, and he shows that. Then he shows that hologram of the white kid.
I don't know. All humans look alike to me.
Does this look anything like this? He goes, I don't know. All humans look the same to me. And I thought that was great.
I think by the time we reached that point in the episode, we were already at least 18 brilliant one-liners into the script.
That's one thing I got to admit. The one-liners in this episode were just
rampant.
They were great.
Right. They're awesome.
Right.
But like T'Challa and Dijon ham salad running through that whole,
the fight scene.
The whole fight scene, and he's just backing up, and he's just like, nope, quicker, nope.
He's like, I got to do this. I got to do this for my boss. I have to point this gun at you for my boss.
Should I use the gun? Should I not use the gun? I don't. What about the gun?
No, use the gun.
No, use the gun. Oh,
ready?
Yeah. You ready?
He's like, oh, when he punched him. Oh, no, that's good. Just harder and faster next time.
Harder and faster.
Come on, hit me again. I barely moved, and then straight into the proverbial electric light socket.
Yeah.
Oh, classic Star-Lord.
Yeah. That was great. Great exchange.
I will say, does anyone know what Star-Lord's little I don't know what you call it, the little thing that always magnetizes and then repulses as well? You know what that's called? The little triangle he holds?
I recall them mentioning it back in the first movie, and I can't remember what it
was. Let's.
Oh, Beth's on a mission.
Father, let's consult Father Google.
Father Google.
Really, the only point I had to that question is I want one. mean, I gotta live up my collector namesake, right?
I'd like the helmet myself.
The helmet's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the ankle rockets as well. The boot rockets.
The ankle rockets are definitely one that I would love. Let's see. Come on, give me something. Give me something to work with here, Marvel. Give me something to work with.
I will say the Dijon ham salad's character, I had to actually look it up to make sure that it was actually his voice. You know, they're kind of sliding some of these guys underneath the.
This one was pretty chock full. Yeah, this one was pretty chock full of
originals.
Oh yeah, the actual
with the exception of Batista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, again, spot on as far as the voice casting is concerned. There, it was right on it.
And yes, they did turn that character into something great. I mean, he's a blip in the movie. We see him for less than 5 minutes in the actual movie,
right?
And there's so much potential with that character, and I think they really touched on it here.
Well, although we did see that character into somebody great, the entire episode.
Right.
I mean, we talked about Captain Carter being, or I talked about it anyway, and being disappointed by the fact that it really wasn't that much of a sharp jump. But this one, on the other hand, was totally completely different direction than the movie. You know,
this is the episode that I would have liked to have seen last week.
Yeah.
I think this completely. Was most definitely a stronger episode than last week's episode with Captain Carter.
I'm going to disagree and say that then if we had seen this one first and then Captain Carter, it would have been like, oh, the first episode was great, but the second one was and I want that build up.
I agree with that too.
I want that build up.
Yeah,
because
I can go with that. Yeah.
Because honestly, you know, when you think back to the original Phase 1 movies, and then when you watch the original Phase 1 movies and then you watch the Phase 3 to the end, you're like, oh, those first movies were just kind of compared, you know, because they were building you up, and you don't want that bang right at the beginning. You want something that kind of wets your whistle, and then, you know, at the end, then you want that cigarette. You know,
that's the end of every one of the friggin' Marvel movies to me, though.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, they all brought that for me. And
okay, so it's a gravity mine.
Just without the cigarette. Gravity mine. Okay.
It's a gravity mine.
Yes.
Is what they're saying, that he used to pull that from the shielded case, a gravity mine. Which makes sense, because then he slides it in the scene. We see him slide it to take out the rest of Dijon ham salad's troops, and it just knocks them out. So I'm
I love that we have,
you know, he's gonna watch this episode, and then he's gonna send us a hate comment, and I'm gonna say, look, I stopped attempting trying to say your name. Because
I mean,
you know,
it's I'm finding this so much more entertaining than just saying Korath.
Yes, it is more entertaining than saying Korath. Oh my god! So yeah, so it's a gravity mine. Let me see, Dijon ham salad or Hansu.
Hansu.
It's more fun saying Dijon ham salad.
Well, yeah, that's fun, but it's not correct. Come on.
It's unfortunate though. From the remainder of his career, any movie that I see him in, I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, look, it's Dijon ham salad." And now I'm hungry again. Crap.
Oh boy.
There is nothing on here that says we are professionals, okay? I mean,
it's true.
We try, but there's nothing on here that says we're
I'm just a tag along, so I have even worse. I have an even better excuse.
But when we hit that 1,000 subscriber mark, we better start cleaning up a little bit.
What I meant was Dijon Hattori Hansa.
Digimon. That's the other one. Okay. Anyway.
Gotta get them all.
And I'm with Dirk here. The new versions of the characters were great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nebula.
Especially Nebula's a real girl.
I think I absolutely text Walt and said, "Holy Nebula," because
where's my phone? I can read that text. Oh, I don't have my phone.
Oh,
wait.
If it's
Don't
that
do
good
that.
of a comment, I want to know.
Don't do that.
Let me, you know what, I forget that I've got, iMessage right here on my computer, right here in front of me.
It literally was. It was, well, I think that's word for word is just Holy Nebula, because when of course I was telling Walt and Beth before this whole thing started, I was telling y'all that I will never, ever, ever turn away from anything that Karen Gillan does. And
no.
So
she was, she's awesome as Nebula in the movies in the first place. I mean, she brings such a great angst to this role. But to see this version of her with her fancy blonde hair and her cat suit and everything. All right, boys, breathe, boys. Come on, breathe.
It was
come on.
Holy Nebula.
Yeah.
So he typed it out with 10 O's in between the H and the
Well,
O?
not exactly 10, but
it was
close.
It was between 9 and 11, probably.
It was like 6 or 7 O's.
Well, and ironically, the first time I ever got to meet Karen Gillan in person was at Dallas Fan Days or Sci-Fi Expo, one of those. And it was just after she had started growing her hair back after shooting the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, nice.
And so her hair, I've got that photo around
when she still had that really cute little bob going on.
Yeah. It broke my heart, because that was one of the first things that dropped my jaw was her long red hair and her Scottish accent. I was pretty much cooked at that point. But then she showed up and with her hair all cut off, and I was like, well, now, okay.
See, I do agree with Sean on this. I do agree with Sean. She should have been a redhead. Yes.
I agree with that. Yeah.
She should have been a redhead.
Yeah. But then again, this is an alternate universe, so
she could have been any darn hair color they wanted her to be,
right,
considering she was bald in the movies. But I remember the first time I saw Karen Gillan was, the first episode of the 11th Doctor of Matt Smith's run. And while I'm not a big fan of his Doctor, I loved Amy Pond and Rory. I absolutely loved those two, as companions. And they were the reason why I continued watching that particular season and didn't skip it. And, I like I was telling Steve earlier, as a writer, I envision my characters a lot of times as actors or singers or something. And my character, Morgan Langtry, in the book that I'm working on right now, she's Karen Gillan all the way. I saw a photo of Karen in the Jumanji movie, and I'm going, that's Morgan. That's my Morgan right there. That's my Morgan right there.
Oh.
So yeah, she's just the bomb.
And seeing as that's where we get the Hey Cha-Cha from.
Hey Cha-Cha. First time we see her in the episode. And that's and T'Challa, the look on T'Challa's face is awesome.
Yeah. So I want to know what their relationship is. I mean, immediately.
Well, upon further thinking about it, she does make reference to the necklace, when she says you're still wearing your past around your neck.
Yeah. So there's that necklace. What is going on with it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's more questions than answers.
Do you have a picture of her, Walt, in the pile that you've got here?
No, I don't. I don't.
Oh,
I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to get a screen grab of that, but I will.
I know we've got the Mandela right there.
We've got the Mandela.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, everybody's favorite.
Yeah.
This is the one we used for our banner, our ad.
We've got to take that again. You look terrible. I look
amazing.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a great moment.
That was. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And so we get to see what happened to Drax, and he became a bartender.
It's nice to see that Drax. It's nice to see that Drax got a happy ending. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Right. Basically, he, his family's great, his daughters, but let's get to why this happened.
Yes.
So. the reason why this happens, because the Ravagers introduce their heavy hitter member, and that ends up being Thanos.
Thanos.
I will be honest.
Good guy. What the
it really kind of dropped my jaw a little bit. I was like, what?
That was a sneaky right hook to the jaw.
Well, that's why it
was.
sealed it.
Yeah.
But then early on, it sealed it. The fact that they were really going to take this off onto a much larger separation from the plot of the movies, and I love that.
We've got the Ravagers suddenly, the good guys saving planets, saving the galaxy. By the way, special guest Peanut Butter has arrived. In case you
What's up, PB?
And out.
And the other thing that's even more shocking is that to save the unit, like T'Challa, commonly known as the Black Panther, saved the universe from Thanos by talking him out of it.
Pretty much. Talk about diplomacy at its best. Oh my God.
But
by talking him out
that his idea would work.
Right.
I still maintain that my plan would work.
And that's an ongoing gag throughout the whole episode. Is they're like, isn't that more like genocide? He goes, well, no, it's random.
It's random.
And he goes, and they're like, still sounds like genocide. And he goes, well, but it has its merits. And there's where you get my saying.
The Nebula, oh, Dad.
And they all just laugh at him. Yeah,
where when he's sitting there talking with Okoye at the end, and she looks at him, she goes, this just sounds like genocide.
Right. And it's great. I mean, if those of you who thought, Thanos, kind of felt for Thanos, the original evil Thanos killing everybody and everything, kind of saw his side or whatever, you see this Thanos and you're like, I want to go have a beer with this guy.
Because this guy is chill.
I still want to punch him. I still want to punch him. Yeah, I do. He's still got a ball sack for a chin. I just still want to punch him.
You went there.
Oh, Steve.
My God, Steve, thank you.
Hey, if it was in the movies, I can say it here. You're welcome.
Oh, I love it. That was great.
Oh, Steve.
I still want to punch him.
But he was still a likable character. They made him him likable.
Yeah, I like this. I like this kind of chill version of Thanos. He's definitely, definitely one of the boys in a way.
And
he's no longer inevitable.
Right. And there was another thing. It was like, gosh, I want to see that negotiation. I want to see that conversation. You can make a whole episode out of that conversation.
I would have loved.
And they don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything more except sit at the bar with a couple of beers.
Yeah.
Okay. Flashback and completely irrelevant. I just wanted a bar scene. That's it.
I want the bar scene with the conversation. I want to know what that conversation was.
Yeah, I want to know what that whole conversation was and how he talked him out of not committing genocide. Universal genocide.
Yeah.
I want Thanos drinking a Shirley Temple.
Yes. Yes. So Dirk commented that he's been watching the episodes and picking up lighting ideas and how to do dynamic backgrounds. So Dirk,
that's a good spot.
We need you to create the background of the bar scene with Thanos and T'Challa, with T'Challa talking Thanos out of universal genocide. You have a mission, sir. There you go.
Walter,
you know what?
I think we need to propose that to Lawrence. I think Lawrence could probably generate that.
I think that needs to be a what do you call it? The where we get a bunch of artists to draw that scene. Let's just get that. That's it right there. Dirk.
The call's out.
The call is out.
The call is out.
We all need to sit down and do our version of that conversation between Thanos and T'Challa.
I can put my 2 cents in it, and actually help write the conversation.
Oh, I'm just going to draw a one panel. I'm just going to draw a one panel picture and have at it. Just that whole scene. I could just see, T'Challa just sitting there like this.
And Thanos's bubble says, but it can all be done in a snap.
Right. It would all be done in a snap.
No.
Think about the labor savings, the time, the completely, it's so efficient. It just boom.
Right.
And T'Challa's just standing there, sitting there.
Right.
Yeah.
No. He doesn't have to say anything more than no.
Yeah. So that'll be the artist challenge is the conversation between T'Challa and Thanos.
That's it. To channel Robin. Oh my gosh, what was the name of that comedian back in the day, Walter? Robin Harris.
Robin Harris.
Just here.
Gotta go.
Have a Dijon ham salad sandwich. Fill your, quit talking.
Yeah. Gotta go. No, he would be more like Thanos. Robin Harris would be more like Thanos.
That's true.
You're like, you're using too much gasoline? Gotta go.
You want somebody to do the snap?
Yeah.
Just asking the wrong people.
Nobody asked me.
Nobody asked me to do the snap.
Nobody asked me to do the snap. I'll do it. Gotta go. Snap.
But I think Dirk's point about the art of this whole thing, I think we mentioned it in the last episode, is just astounding. I really got kind of a Flash animation feel to it initially, but then it started flowing a lot better, and I loved it even more.
Yeah.
So I love it. Just watching it is amazing.
And I think I made this comment on Tuesday that it's just sad that the rest of the other animated Marvel products that are out there for Disney or Disney XD don't even fit this quality. I mean, like when you watch shows like DC's Young Justice, and even go back to Teen Titans and the Justice League series and Batman, that animation for what they were doing was like top notch. And it seems like the Marvel TV shows are just kind of phoning it in.
Yeah.
So
not this one.
I actually like the simplicity of the artwork. I know some people would argue with that being, potentially looking cheap or lazy, but I don't think so. I like the look of it. I like the way it looks like it's literally, taken right off the comic book page and put on, the cell. I like that because you still get the comic feel of the original story idea, which was the What If comics.
Right. And this, the animation in this series here is, you can see that they actually tapped into the Disney animation studios. Yeah. You can see it. The facial expressions, everything, it's something that's been missing.
I was about to say it wasn't as prevalent in this episode as it was in Captain Carter, but I take that back because as Korath is confronting T'Challa in the main chamber at the very beginning, and he just punches his lights out. Well, yeah, okay, same expressions, so never mind.
And then we get this expressions here. We get this. I mean, it's very easy to see what's being conveyed here.
Right. And
I'm not an artist by any means either. So
another thing that I paid attention to, and you might want to go back and this gets back at Thanos, the expressions on his face.
Yes. Yes.
Because, we're known to seeing him with a frown, throughout the movies. But in this case, he's got like smiles and little smirks. And even then you can see, that the personality back in there. And when his conversations, he's like, but it has, he's like, but it has its merits.
Yeah, but my plan still has its merits.
Yeah, and he's even doing his lips like, but it does have its merits. Yeah, like and you're like, no, it doesn't have its merits. No. But you're fun to talk to.
And then let's think about the animation that they did on the Collector himself. I mean, come on, it's Benicio del Toro in a comic book. You can't get any better than that.
Even that character was totally different.
I don't like drama. Well, by looking at your outfit would suggest otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that line.
You have this happen to you a lot, don't you?
Right. And I want to know about that Captain America shield he had in his collection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that collection, man. He had. Okay, so what I saw was Cap's shield, Mjolnir, and then Loki's daggers are like staggered right below Mjolnir, and then I'm pretty sure it's Loki's helmet because you see the bottom of the case, and then you just see the two
horns sticking up.
Horns, yeah. So it looked like, he's got Hela's helmet, so it makes sense that he would have Loki's helmet and Loki's daggers. Some of the other swords and stuff, though, I couldn't figure out.
I couldn't either.
They look familiar. They look like, yes, they belong in the Marvel universe. Yes, we've seen them before, but where?
Yeah.
Well, when he broke out Hela's helmet, I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but what was really cool about that was the way, the way he did his hands on the helmet was exactly
the way Kate Blanchett did it in Ragnarok.
And I just rolled. I fell to the floor when I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, you flamboyant bastard!"
Yes.
What you say? What do you say? Oh, that girl had style.
Oh,
yeah.
Style.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you get any sleazier?
And I'm like, yeah.
Well, it is Benicio del Toro character.
Benicio del Toro's character.
No.
So
And
that's like 100% sleaze right
there.
Yeah,
he takes it to the edge of max sleaze every time.
And we got more Howard the Duck.
Oh
my God! The whole Howard the Duck thing. Oh, good Lord!
Which it took me a second to realize that was Seth Green.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah.
It was
he did the voice in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
In the Guardians movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It took me a second though, because it was one of those I thought, okay, well maybe they replaced that voice as well. No, that's actually him. And
he deepened his voice.
He did. There for a second I was picking up hints of Bradley Cooper doing that voice. But no, it is Seth Green.
Speaking of voices, have you guys noticed that Michael Rooker's voice, the one who does Yondu, he's very well known for that raspy voice of his. Did you guys notice how quiet, not quite as
his
powerful
his voice
usual?
Was a little bit higher pitched.
Okay, that's what it was.
That might have been taken care of in post.
And then again, it could be part of a slight character change.
Just enough to make this Yondu a little different,
a little bit more lighter, because he was. I mean, even though we liked him in Guardians of the Galaxy, in the movies and everything, he was a bit of a dick. So
he was.
He's a liar.
Yeah. So, and in this case, he wasn't that much of one because he wanted to take T'Challa back.
Yeah, he did.
And T'Challa was like, "But you're going up there.
You're going up there.
I want to go up there too."
Cool. Hey, Papa Thompson.
Hey, Dad. And we got Mom and Dad watching. Sweet.
I know, right?
I love it. I love it.
I'm feeling like my mom needs to participate, but she'd be like, "Yeah, whatever."
It would go right over my mother's head.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
One of those things. I don't know what you were talking about, but you all were having an interesting conversation.
Yeah, if it's not on Big Brother, she's out.
Oh, well, apparently, they were watching Tuesday when I had my niece on, so which I thought was pretty cool. So, Mom got to see both of us for a change. But anyway, and I noticed that even Chadwick Boseman's voice was just a little slightly higher than normal too.
I wonder though if that's just an effect in post, or if they actually acted it that way, because it. Sometimes when you speed up, dialogue in post, it'll actually raise the octave a little bit. I don't know, maybe that's just speculating. But I like the idea better of them actually, lightening the personalities of the characters a little bit more. I like that better.
Yeah.
So,
like last week's episode, I noticed there was just enough of a difference in Sebastian Stan's voice too as Bucky. But that's because I watch a lot of stuff with the different actors that I like for my own writing and analyze the voices and the way they move and stuff like that. That could just be me picking up on something totally different too. So I noticed
it. And so much so that it actually got me questioning whether it was actually the voice actors.
Yeah.
So you're not alone.
So Howard Duck's not the only thing that was sitting in the collector's collection that we saw. A Cosmo gets away and apparently gets a home with Thanos.
Which is freaky.
Thanos needs a buddy.
A boy and his dog.
Well, and we really do need Cosmo.
Yes, we need Cosmo.
I will say the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series has a regular Cosmo presence.
Oh,
and
sweet.
And he speaks to them mentally with his Russian accent. So
I gotta go watch that. Then.
So if you want Cosmo, at least there's Cosmo in the Guardians of the Galaxy animated series.
So Dirk cleared this up. He said it is Disney animation. If we see a difference in the voices, it was intentional.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
I'll buy that. I mean, any of those explanations, I'll absolutely buy. I mean, either they were lightening the personality of the character. I've been around advertising enough to know that, it's easy to change a voice in post. So I'll buy that too. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just going to watch the show. I'm having fun with it. So there we go.
Well, think of some of the things Kat was saying Tuesday night about voice actors and the different things that they go through. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe, if it's all of it, So who saw all the ships?
I will admit
there's a hangar of ships.
In all the instances where T'Challa escaped from the collector's cell and was running away, I paused it at every cutscene just because I wanted to see if there were anything in those cages back there that I could recognize the shape of, and I didn't recognize any shapes. But when we got to the hangar, I paused it again, and I thought for a second there I saw Serenity, but I totally didn't.
Firefly Serenity?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I also look like a dropship from Star Wars.
Which it wouldn't put it past to see one of those in there.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
It looked a lot like it to me. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that I saw the party ship of Jeff Goldblum's party ship from Ragnarok in there.
Which I'll have to go back and look for.
I'll have to go back and look for that one too.
Yeah,
I have to go back and look for that one as well.
But I did see the Novacore, the Novacore ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dirk brought up the Novacore ship.
I saw that one too.
Yep.
And of course the Wakandan shuttle, which was fantastic.
Yeah. And all the Wakandan music playing. So what happened to the Dora Milaje that was in that ship? Because those are dummies. And unless I was waiting for one of those to come to life or something.
I don't know, but it was cool the way they rendered them.
Yeah.
It was still bald. I mean, it still had
still bald with the full costume, full costume uniform and everything.
I would probably have to say that they probably, and it's kind of hard to believe, but this is an alternate universe. They didn't survive the battle to not get captured.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
But like you say, I want to know what happened.
Yeah, I want to know what happened.
So that brings up, Dirk brings up a good point. We probably aren't going to see follow-ups on these versions and what they did, which that just it's fodder for a good imagination and a storyteller. There's fan fiction galore that's going to happen out of all of this.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
I may or may not be a big fan of that.
You may or may not be hoping I might write some of that.
And
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, you were thinking.
I mean, I will admit, since What If has become a TV show, I've gone and just Googled, what if issues, storylines and storylines that didn't make it to the comic books. Like I found one that was, what if Cyclops had formed the Avengers? And and the whole story was premised around it was a two-parter, and long story short, it was about Cyclops forming not the X-Men, but the Avengers, and most of the members of the Avengers were known X-Men characters,
Mm-hmm.
and they were formed to stop Professor X.
Wasn't there was one What If that I don't know if we'll see it or not, but it was Wolverine is in the Wolverine's in the 1920s, with helping stop, I want to say Capone or somebody like that, but I know it was Wolverine in the 1920s kind of idea. Steve, Dirk's calling you out, man. Dirk's calling you out.
It's true. I am a reader. I've always been a big reader, and for some bizarre reason, of course, around Doctor Who and Highlander, et cetera, Star Wars, any Speed Racer, even I'll pick up on any of those fanfics and in general. So
and just say, let's see what this person's got.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Could this be? I mean, Star Trek is chock full of the fanfics and Star Wars.
There's an internet full of Star Trek fanfic, which, by the way, Beth, when you mentioned Wolverine and going back to the 20s and 30s and then fighting Capone, etc., my head immediately went to Star Trek TNG. That sounds so much like something they would do.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. What was Picard's detective in TNG?
Oh, let's Google that.
Oh, golly.
Go look on the almighty Google for me. You're both on it. I love it. Meanwhile, if you're playing the home game, those are Googling things. Dixon Hill.
That's it. Dixon Hill. Dixon Hill. So what else did we run into? That was
Korg's arm.
Korg's arm. That's right.
I took this off a Chatty. I don't remember what Korg's species is, but that actually had me chuckling, and I was like, "No, wait a minute! Why am I laughing?"
Yeah.
Apparently,
the collector was using
Korg.
Yeah.
Collector was using Korg's severed arm to fight T'Challa.
Really, guys? Come on!
Yeah, that was a little bit of a reach. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, well, T'Challa was the smart one, picking it up and sliding it on his arm.
Back.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. So that there was just so much to unpack.
There's
with
so
this.
much.
I adore, and I'm waiting for Howard the Duck. I want more Howard the Duck, particularly if Seth Green's doing the voice. If he's doing any kind of writing at all, it's going to be brilliant.
Oh God, if he's doing writing, we'd be in for a treat. But it was just, I mean, like I said, you can't keep up with this episode.
I usually try and watch these like 3 times, and I only had a chance to watch this one twice, and I know I'm going to go back and watch it again and pick it apart even more. Like the scene where, he kicks the collector into the cage and hands the girl the bracelet. There is a ton of characters we see going after him. I know we see the Dark Elf again.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the cage. Who else was there? I'm pretty sure there was a Skrull in there. I saw a couple of blue people, which could be Kree. Who else is in that collection? Who else did the collector
collect?
Irritate, enough to want to see him just,
Were there any Dora Milaje left?
Ooh.
Yeah. Because he could have taken one of them out of their uniform and stuck her in a cage. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Did we send the end of Midnight Proxima? Because that chick really needs to go.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Thanos
that's
took her out. Yeah,
that's the other thing. All of Thanos's henchmen were the Collector's
working
henchmen.
for the Collector. Yeah.
Thanos. And the Collector was jacked, y'all.
Yeah, he was.
Jacked.
What is wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, somewhere along the line, he collected some steroids.
Some mega steroids.
Because that was ridiculous. That was massively overdone.
Mega
Again, pardon
steroids
the
and
pun.
some serious cybernetic parts. It's almost like he had Nebula's cybernetics instead of Nebula. I like Dirk's comment.
For some bizarre reason, I'm picturing that.
Benicio del Toro wished he looked that fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. I think most of us really kind of do. By the time my hair, oops, wait a minute, I'm bald. Well, I said by the time my hair turns white, I'd like to be that jacked, but that's not happening.
I'm telling you, man. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, but he's the crime boss now. He's like the Galaxy crime boss. So he's got to be jacked.
Dirk, I like what Dirk has to say here about the stones.
We never got to see.
Never got to see Thanos with at least some of the stones.
Right.
And we had Proxima Midnight and the other big guy, whatever his name was, taking Thanos down.
Right. But technically, we still don't know what was in the orb.
No, we don't know what was in the orb.
And we don't know why he was taking the orb.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was, the power readings are off the chart.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
and we know what the gems, that they were trying to collect, did. I mean, it turned nowhere into a paradise by the looks of it by the time we were done. But still, we don't know what's in the orb. We haven't seen.
Well, yeah, Dirk's right there.
Yeah. Compared to the movie Thanos, yeah.
But he's also a changed man.
Yeah.
So he's also a changed man, and he probably was holding back because he didn't want to really hurt anybody.
He didn't want to hurt anybody.
But his plan still has merit.
Still has merit. Go figure.
I liked Nebula's double cross too. Triple cross. Because that is, even though this is a new version of Nebula we're seeing, this is still the same Nebula. This is still, Nebula's fighting for Nebula.
Sorry, Cha-Cha.
But her.
Sorry, Cha-Cha.
Well,
hey, Cha-Cha.
I won't say that it's for herself per se, but her reasons are flipped, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're slightly flipped. I mean, she's not doing any of this stuff out of revenge or hatred or anything like that. So
yes. Evil Winter Soldier is tougher than good Winter Soldier.
Exactly.
I mean, we saw that in Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, we had a whole discussion about why did Bucky seem weaker, in this, as he's coming to grips with what he did as Winter Soldier than when he was actually Winter Soldier.
Right. And then again, Thanos, his whole idea was to allow Nebula and everybody else to get away. Yeah. So he could have been holding back just to make things go longer so that they had time to get out of there.
To be the distraction.
Yep, to be the distraction. But they come back and get him. So, and then things change after that.
Oh, that's right. She shoots Proxima Midnight.
Yeah, just turns around and pops her.
Oh, I can't. Yeah. I didn't like her character in the movies, and Proxima.
I didn't like her characters in the comics either. That's what makes her so great.
We're back.
Oh my gosh, she's horrible.
We're back to Dijon Ham-Salad's character, Korath, saying, "Oh, now we get to see one of Star-Lord's patented escape plans."
Yes,
daring escape.
Right.
I have to say with this one, the flipping of the characters definitely added something more to the telling of the story.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite the regurgitation that Captain Carter was.
Thank God for that.
Even though there were little things in Captain Carter that were different, it was still Captain America: The First Avenger. Whereas this was, we were given the basics of Guardian of the Galaxy, but we were given a different story. We were told a different story. We got to see more of the Collector. We got to see him as the bad guy. We got to see Thanos as a good guy, with all of the pros and cons that go with all of that. So this was a really strong episode, in my opinion.
Well, even the writing held on to all of the comedic quips and
that we know with Guardians
that we know from Guardians, and
Yeah.
that I appreciated big time.
Yeah.
Because there were several times during this whole episode I was like, that was good.
Right.
You know?
Oh, most of the ones that I was chuckling at were the ones that Chadwick delivered because
Agreed.
they were T'Challa, but they were T'Challa with Star-Lord's wit.
Right.
Which was an interesting combination, and that had to have been immensely fun for Chadwick to have recorded.
Yeah. I mean, actually, just the whole character change for everybody. I mean, just think about having to go in. So you want me as Thanos, but you want me to tell jokes as Thanos.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Nebula.
If Josh Brolin had done the narration as the Watcher, I would have been fine with that. His voice is so cool.
Yeah,
he does. He has a great voice. And he's another one with a distinctive voice too.
And I laughed because every time he would say, "Yeah, but my plan still has its merits," you could hear that joking tone in his voice as he's saying it, and then you look at, the way that they illustrated his expression. He's got that smirk on his face, like, I'm just joking, right?
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Well, and in the movies, Thanos had such vigor and power and anger
and gravitas,
determination and gravitas and all of those things. And when I saw him pop up in this episode, popping jokes, I was like, oh, what does my brain do with that?
What?
Yeah,
what do I do with that?
You're trying to wrap your brain around this whole concept. Nebula as the Gamora of this episode. She's the sexy one. She's got she's got the hots for Star-Lord and everything. Hey,
she's got the gold.
Sorry,
dress.
Cha-Cha.
Yeah.
Dirk, can I say something? No, Dirk, you cannot say anything. Your voice was shot, remember?
That's actually a good point. And the only reason I want to bring attention to Ophelia Lovabond, who was Karina, the collector's assistant.
Yeah.
/ captive. She came back, and of course, she had maybe 4 lines in the entirety of the movies, and then blew herself to hell. And then in this episode, she's only got, again, 2 lines, but she maintained the integrity of that character. And I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what Dirk says from the very last line right there, they did this for the love of their characters and for Chadwick. Again, that goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning of the episode with how this man influenced so much and so many people in the short time that we had him here.
Yeah.
And that we had him in the MCU.
Yeah.
And yes,
point.
we got Snake Plissken for 1 line.
We
got Snake Plissken
for 1 line.
Hey, I loved the animation of Kurt Russell that they did.
And you know what? That was great. That was a great Easter egg at the end of that.
Yes.
It was a great Easter egg.
I would have loved, Beth, just because, since you said that, if he had turned around and said, "Call me Plissken."
Right. That would have been the most
that would have been the most offbeat plot turn in the history of ever. But gosh, that would have been awesome.
But it would have fit, knowing Peter Quill's character.
Yeah.
It would have fit.
What would have been great is what would be great is, I have a feeling we're going to visit these 2 characters again, because you don't give us that Easter egg and leave it alone
now.
So
we're going to see Ego and Peter.
So if there's an episode with Ego and Peter, Peter better have an Escape from New York movie poster in his house.
Put that up.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
That would have been priceless.
Yeah.
That's great.
And so on track too, knowing Peter's that whole, all about the 70s and 80s pop culture, and that would have been priceless. Oh, missed opportunity.
Hey, Beth.
So
here's your fanfic. There's your fanfic.
Wait,
Galaxy of the Guardians Escape from New York and LA crossover.
Are you my dad or are you Snake Plissken?
Right.
I'm both.
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
I'm
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
The answer is
and I've forgotten his name in Big Trouble in Little China. Jack.
Oh crap.
Oh, and
somebody look it up. Dirk already said only one of us can look it up.
Yes, here we go. I got it.
We got. I love it, Dirk. Dirk's gonna
actually, if Sean is still watching, Sean would know that one.
I love it. Well, if Dan wasn't in the other room, I could ask him. He'd probably know too. But I love
Burton.
Yeah, Jack Burton. Jack Burton.
Dirk, please start writing some obtuse fan fiction.
See, I told you Sean would have that answer.
Oh, come on, man.
Yes.
I'm out. I gotta go.
Yeah, well, especially since you're not allowed to see it. Ooh.
Are those your next projects that you're working on right now, Dirk?
Apparently.
I have a Robotech one that I'd like to take care of.
We need to finish the one that we've been working on.
I know. I've been actually, you know what? I've been taking photographs of some models. So
okay, cool.
Of things that I want to use.
Yes,
I don't know why Dirk hates me.
Eventually, Walt and I will tell you what we're working on, but eventually we'll just tease you with it all for now. So there.
It's a crossover fan. It's a crossover fanfic.
All right.
Yes.
Short story.
Short story.
Power Rangers and Animaniacs.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know, Walt.
I was close.
It's a little questionable. It could be, Walt.
Not the Power Rangers. Animaniacs, maybe, but not the Power Rangers.
Oh, my God, that'd be awesome.
Oh, my goodness.
So, back to the whole Waterworks bit. The closeout.
Hold on. Let me respond to Dirk first. No. We do not catch up, sir. You forgot about that. We just keep on rolling with what we got and add to it.
Y'all talked about that on Tuesday. You have a multitude of continuing projects.
So yes.
Ever
you'll never end.
We're never catching up, Dirk. So nice try.
you just have to work your way around them.
Yeah. So yes, the wrap up on the show.
And that whole wrap up started with the whole returning to Wakanda. Yeah. To see his family, because he's been gone for 20 years.
Yep.
And, I started getting misty-eyed with that part of the story. And then it closes out, and then there's the whole tribute to Chadwick. And God.
I was good. I was good through the whole episode. I was able to hear his voice and, see the animation and see him bring T'Challa to life again. And then that scrolls across the screen. And I was just like, you all suck.
I mean, they always do that when they're doing a dedication for a fallen comrade, is that they cut scene. And then they leave like what feels like a full friggin' minute of black screen and then just fade on that white copy. And you knew it was coming, but you had no choice. But the second that line, our inspiration, our hero, come on now.
Some of the tweets that went on this, So the actual thing, it says, dedicated to our friend, our inspiration, our hero, Chadwick Boseman. Some of these tweets have seen hashtag what if episode 2, and I managed to make it to the dedication at the end before I broke down, but then I just cried quietly all through the credits. I'm crying, missing Chadwick all over again. One person put on here, King of Wakanda, Ravager, actor, role model, icon, but most importantly, a hero. Rest in power, King. If this is not, and these are both men and women, saying this stuff on Twitter. If this is not, true, honest to God fan love for this man, I don't know what is.
And for someone who honestly didn't really have, his star shone brightly for such a short period, to have that reputation and that
short of time.
That short of time is amazing, and it tells you a lot about, forget what you know about him on screen. It tells you more about the man himself.
We basically got to see him, see T'Challa as the main character in one full movie. And then we got him as a minor character in Civil War, minor character that was still very important. And then we got him briefly in Infinity War and Endgame, not as much as we would have loved to have seen. So it just his impact in that, in that short period of time. Plus, he still went on to do Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which I think is the very last film that he did. All of this while fighting cancer.
42 when he did 40. He was fighting when he did 42.
Well, was he fighting it when he did 42? Okay, yeah.
Oh, and 21 Bridges.
21 Bridges.
Yeah, 21 Bridges.
And even the story, even the story behind 21 Bridges, how he gave up some of his pay so that what's her name would be in the movie, because he wanted her in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And because she was done with movies, and she came back for him because of what he did for her.
Who was that?
She was
Sienna Miller.
Sienna Miller, yeah.
Sienna Miller, yeah.
Because she had, after her little phone hacking scandal thing that happened, when those reporters had hacked her phone, she gave up. She basically had given up on Hollywood. So.
Yeah, and Dirk is right. Usually the last thing we ever see our favorite actors in is something lousy. I mean, I just,
And I haven't seen a lousy movie by Chadwick Boseman.
I haven't either.
There's no such thing.
There is no such thing as a lousy Chadwick Boseman movie.
And yes, his impact was massive. You're right, and right on point with that, Dirk. Still today you see kids walking around, Wakanda. We still do it.
Yeah, he was James Brown. I forget he was James Brown.
He was.
What?
He played James Brown. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I missed that.
Learned all of his dance moves and everything. I forgot he played James Brown. So
yeah. I hope the other 3 episodes that we get Chadwick in are just as strong as this one, because really this is his final legacy. And
and I'm going to go one step further and say that with this episode, it kind of sets the bar for all the rest of the episodes for the whole show.
Yes, agreed. It does.
It sets
that bar high. Mm-hmm. It sets it very high. It sets
the bar high.
I would argue that everything he did set a high bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's no argument there. It's the truth. It's the truth. Even Peanut Butter likes Black Panther. Because she thinks she is one. Well, you guys got anything else, or shall we wrap this party up for another Thursday afternoon?
All I know is I'm looking forward to next Wednesday.
I am too.
Same here. Same here.
So,
and
my whole world's starting to revolve around Task Force Geek, because I live for Tuesdays. Now I live for Wednesday, because that means Thursday we get to talk about what happened on Wednesday. So,
and Fridays you get book crew from me.
I haven't partaken in that yet, but I would like to.
And just go on the YouTube channel. It's on there. Speaking of, Walt, where can people find you?
Oh, you would ask me that question, wouldn't you?
I would. Yeah.
So you can find me in all these places right here. If you expand my window there.
Go, dear.
You can find me in all these places here. And if you go to the Zazzle store, you can get this cool shirt here that I designed.
And you want that cool shirt.
You'll want this cool shirt.
Yes.
So, if you want to see where you can get that.
Oh. Hang on, let me write that down. Hang on. Just kidding. I know where.
There it is right there. That's what the Zazzle store looks like. You can find all these cool little stuff. You can get this image on a mug.
The coffee mugs are awesome. Just saying.
You know, you can get face masks for those of you who want to mask up. You know,
Ooh, that might need to be the next purchase.
So, you know, there's my own little personal logo swag. I have stickers, Dirk. I have stickers. Check it out. I have stickers.
Nice.
And so yeah, that's where you can find me in all these places here. So, and sometimes you can take some of my stuff and use them and have them put on other things. But
yep,
that's where you can find me. All these places.
All
of these places right here.
See, Dirk, you're not the only one. I love stickers too, man. Stickers
I love
all these places.
My laptop is littered. Well, my laptop, my car, my everything are littered with. Oh,
Mom's still waiting for hers, huh?
Littered with.
I think she's waiting on a mug or her mask and mug. I think they're supposed to. I know mine are supposed to be in this week. So.
All right, Mom. They're coming. They're coming. Steve, where can people find you?
I'm prepared. I'm totally still not prepared. I don't know how Walt does his little screen magic stuff, but I said last week all I had was my website. That's kind of a lie. Here's my Twitter handle. I never, ever, ever post anything there. I'm a Twitter stalker, more or less. So I'll just read.
Hold that up again. Hold that up again.
Shanktification at Shanktification on Twitter.
Hold on, I'm adding this for next week in case you're on next week with us. At Shanktification. Alrighty there. There we go.
Yeah,
okay.
I couldn't possibly make that any more difficult. Oh wait, yeah, I can. My
Here,
Instagram.
look, there you go. Oh, you didn't tell me you had an Instagram too, man.
Boom, buddy.
Shanktify yourself.
Okay, hold on. Let me add that. Dirk, sometimes I don't know how you do this.
Shanktify _ yourself.
At Shanktify _ All right, now I got you in there. Look.
And
you have another one?
But wait. The usual.
And
918art.com.
918art.com.
I like yours better, Steve. It's easier.
The web is my website is basically a portfolio site. It has my logos, all the ad work that I've done in the past, as well as some of my photography. And I'm building my illustration tab because it's very, 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 very limited. I.e., I pretty much stopped drawing in 1993, but I've got a lot of stuff that I'll put up there. IG is mostly just goofy stuff, as well as my aviation photography and random photography. And Twitter, like I said, I am mostly a reader, not a poster.
Well, that's okay. You still need to get on. You still need to definitely
and
work
and a lot of people know that I'm an aviation fan, so I will definitely recommend checking out Steve's aviation photos.
Yes.
Oh, thanks, man.
You need to start sharing stuff from us, man.
I absolutely. You know what? I've actually gotten a lot better at that between the TFG group and Beth. We've recently become friends on Facebook, so I've started sharing your stuff as well. And of course, Dirk, I always share your stuff. I mean, illustrations. Come on. I
appreciate the love too, man.
Yeah, man. What I don't have on my wall, I will have. You know what I should do? I should create a Word doc and share Highlander fanfic that somebody sent me.
No,
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just kidding.
No.
I won't.
Thanks, Mom. Mom says she's going to check my stuff out. Thanks, Mom. I appreciate that.
I love Mom. And I love Daddy.
Mom,
man, they're
Mom.
Parents.
Yeah, and Mom's a reader, so Mom likes to read books. So I told her that you've written a couple of novels, and she's like, "Oh, she has." And so yeah, Mom, check Beth out.
Hey, we'll get you set up, Mom. Don't worry.
She's got some books out there.
I miss them. I got to go see that.
And here's where you can find me. Of course, I'm on Twitter at BA Freely and Instagram at BA Freely. You can also find my author website at bethannfreely.com. If you are an upcoming author looking for a website or editing for your next novel, hit me up at themusesfunhouse.com. I have reasonable rates and would love to work with you and help you get your novel ready for publication. If you're looking to support a local author, I do have a Buy Me a Coffee account as well as a Ko-Fi account, and for as little as $5 a month you can get in on the most recent novel that I'm working on and get to see it before it is finalized and published. So I think that's pretty much it.
I want to say one thing, which is one of the things I'm going to start doing here is some honorable mentions of some TV shows out there that you all need to watch.
Yes.
Titans season 3 is out there.
Watched the third episode last night.
She watched the third episode last night and sent me a note. I watched the 4th episode today.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that later. Yep.
But spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So if you haven't seen the Titans show at all, or any of the 3rd season, I'm about to spoil it for you right now, seeing as it's been a week. You had a week to see 3 hours worth of show.
This is called spoiler alert.
Because this is called spoiler alert.
Yes.
Hank died. Hank, as we all know, is the other half of Hawk and Dove. Hank died.
What? We have lost Hawk,
and it's an epic death. Epic. So big shake up to the team.
I should have taken my headphones off.
You should have taken your headphones off. I didn't tell you how he died. I just said it was epic. So
an epic death.
Epic death.
All deaths in shows like this should be epic.
Yeah. And of course it was done by the Red Hood, and we all know who the Red Hood is. If you don't know who the Red Hood is, yeah.
Peanut butter, settle down.
I mean, it's
peanut butter hisses at him.
It's really no secret to say the Red Hood is Jason Todd. So,
and he is a nasty piece of work.
Yes. So anyway,
any other ones?
The other thing was last week we had the season finale for Bad Batch.
Yep.
Which was pretty good.
It was. I'm looking forward to season 2.
Really, there's not really much of a spoiler to give on this, other than that the Kaminoans have been taken captive by the Empire, and the whole clone factory has been destroyed.
Yeah, in case you were wondering what happened between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, now we know. Now we know where the
Kaminoans
went. And what happened with them, and why we no longer have clones. So
why we no longer have the clones.
If you are big into Star Wars and you love the whole clone story, it is definitely a series to check out.
Yep. So, other than that, there's some other new shows that are out there that I haven't taken a look at that I want to take a look at. Like, for instance, Disney Plus has Turner and Hooch, which I saw a trailer for that, and I was like, I'm in. I want to watch this. It's a comedy, of course, hour long. And I can't remember exactly how the main character fits in with Tom Hanks' character, but he's a relative. And something happens to the character that would be Tom Hanks' character, and he bequeaths the new Hooch. And he's given a note. He's like a note with the dog saying he's just like the original Hooch. So of course we have this Mastiff, and dog, buddy cop shows. I'm all there for them.
And if you remember
bad, it's not bad. It's a good show. I mean, I was okay. Full disclosure, I was introduced to this show by my niece Reese, and she came to stay with me for a day last week before school started, and I absolutely got soaked into this show, and I can't quite figure out why, but I really enjoyed it. So get me off the big screen, Beth.
So those are my honorable mentions for now. As usual, I will be looking around for some things to share. I know there's Disney Plus has got tons of kids shows that are new. That there's one that I'm watching. I can't remember the name of it. I'll probably mention it next week. And it's definitely a Disney kids show, but I have been totally intrigued by this show. And it's about four kids, and they all have special talents, and one keeps all of her things in a bucket, like a literal bucket.
Okay.
And she's very eccentric. And then there's, some really smart kids. And then there's one that's, she's not really all that smart, but she's just a little bee.
Yeah.
But her having that attitude is a great advantage to the team. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that.
So September 23rd, we get season 3 of Doom Patrol drops. I did see that, so I'm looking forward to that. So
we might do small spoilers on that one.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to do small spoilers on that one.
Doom Patrol is a good series. A series that I wish they would continue would be Swamp Thing. The first season of Swamp Thing was excellent. Why they canceled that show, I don't know why, and left us with a cliffhanger. So if you haven't seen that, watch it. If it ever returns, maybe we'll spoiler report that one. I don't know if Sean, if you're still watching, let me know if you've watched the Swamp Thing, because it's horror genre, and you know me, I'm not a horror fan, and I love that show.
I was just glad to see that we were going to get a third season of Doom Patrol, especially with Brendan Fraser having a resurrection of his career, which tickles me to death. So I'm glad of that.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, tune in tomorrow. Hopefully I can get the podcast up for the next episode of the Book Crew.
I'll be there.
So, but for now, for Steve, the Collector Shank, and Walt Has Its Merits Thompson, I am Beth Hey Cha Cha Freely, and this has been Task Geek Spoiler Alert. We will see you next Thursday. Until then, take care.